Morning traders. So how do we trade the DAX this morning? So I'm starting off on the weekly, and purely because this weekly 200 EMA is clearly very much in play at the moment, and you can see the buyers are stepping in off it and looking to buy off it, which is a pretty interesting setup because of this big head and shoulders here. Okay, so it's clear, still no clear direction, and it's been 5 weeks so far with no clear direction. So it's pretty interesting to see the pattern that's brewing. So we had this inside bar, and we now have a weekly pin bar off a level. So this is looking like it could potentially be a bottom. In other words, it's going to really mitigate this head and shoulders completely. Just moving down to the daily, you can see we had an indecision, and now we have had a pin bar. But we are still below the moving averages. Okay, although the moving averages had crossed over in a bullish fashion, they're still pointing down and they're about to cross over again. So I think a lot of indecision still in this area. Okay, on the 4 hour, gives you a bit of a different picture. You've got all this barbed wire with all these tails up and down and massive indecision, and then we have a nice engulfing with follow through. Okay, so that is giving me a little bit of confidence that we could be changing direction, and it starts becoming clearer on the lower time frames. Okay, so we've had a grouping of the oscillators. However, have a look at this. Okay, we are so far overbought at the moment. I'd like to see this pull back before getting into a long here. So this may just be top of range. Okay, so this kind of could hit this level here of 1146 area and then bounce back down. Okay, right now the DAX futures is down at 11,422. So let's put that in. I think it's around there. 11,425, pretty close. So futures is down here at the moment. Okay, so I think if you just draw up your levels there, the first breakthrough there. Let's just take this off a 4 hour. Yeah, well, you can see all the tails lining up on this level here. So this is the first breakthrough. We'd like to see a retest of that. Okay, and I think what we'll do just now is have a look at the ichimoku as well, because that'll give us another indication of what's actually going on. For the half hour, this is what we want to trade. We do have a little inverse head and shoulders here. Here's a shoulder head and a 1 bar shoulder. I don't really like it that much, but we have had a fairly good crossover. Okay, only concern I have is the Williams percentage R, which is grouped like this. Okay, so I think I'm probably more than likely going to be looking at a long trade. Looking at the half hour, this looks like I'm looking for some continuation of this, but there are some big levels above. So wait for a pullback and then take it out. So this fractal level is key. This 11,393. Break below, we're coming back down. We stay above it, we're looking for a move to the upside. Okay, the key thing here as well is that we have broken this previous fractal here. We've closed above it. This one here. Okay, so that in itself is an entry long with a stop here. Okay, so we've broken the fractal above these moving averages pointing to the upside. So this should give you long, and you have a 60-point stop loss. Okay, but just coming back to the weekly, just bear in mind, I don't really expect us to change anything at this stage. And the other thing that we do have here, if I take, let me just do that. So you can see there's the initial downtrend line. We broke through, we tested, we tested, we tested. So that's kind of the level we need to break. So in other words, the top of that range. And I'll actually just extend that a little bit more because it's the neckline of the head and shoulders that we're looking at. and you'll probably find that they are pretty far away. Now you can see they're way up there. Okay, so that's it for me today. We're just going to have a look at the ichimoku quickly. Let's quickly move across. So the 1 hour, we top of cloud, oscillators grouped to top, so you would expect a pullback. We haven't had a crossover of Kijinsen and Tikinsen, and they are flat. So it's not something that I like trading on ichimoku. On the half hour, we have broken through the cloud. Chiku span is almost about through price, and we've had a crossover. We haven't had a twist. So we've only one signal here, but the oscillator is above the -20 at the moment, which is not something that fills me with much confidence for an entry. Okay, if we look at the 4 hour, pretty much the same scenario. You can see flat, Kijinsen, Tikinsen, no real direction, sideways motion, and we're in the cloud, which is indicating range. And lastly, the daily. Now this is where it starts getting interesting, because the daily is pointing down, similar to this here. Look at this move here, and see we had a potential pin bar reversal here, but it didn't play out. The difference though, if I zoom in here, can't go in anymore, but you'll see red crossed over. So Kijinsen crossed over Tikinsen, red over blue, whereas here they just come together. So it really depends what happens. If we sort of gap down and start moving down, then the same pattern is going to happen. Or if we sort of start moving up, then you'll get a crossover, a bullish crossover. Okay, and I don't think the cloud hasn't crossed over yet either. Okay, so nothing really to write home about on the ichimoku, and I'm just going to do one quick one on the 12-minute. Where are we? There we are. Okay, so the 12-minute has had a crossover. We've now just broken through the cloud with Chiku span, and we've got a twist here. So the 12-minute is saying trend is up at the moment, but it's been up for a while. So the big trick right now is whether this holds. And again, there are your levels to watch today. Okay, so it's pretty much 11,450, and just tidy that one up, and 11,3991. Those are the two levels to watch out for today. If we stay above 11,450, we should be trending, get a bit of upside. I won't say trend, but we'll get a bit of upside. If we drop below 11,391, then you can expect us to come and test some of these levels at the bottom. Okay, so that's kind of my view on this today. Probably still a lot of consolidation happening to finish the week off, and then we'll have to pick this up, hopefully with a direction choice on Monday. Anyway guys, that's it for me. Hope it helps, and I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.